Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of In the Know. I am Tony Reeves. Let's dive right in. Sometimes friends can save us from ourselves. Let me tell you about an experience that goes beyond life-saving. It's about friends stepping in to prevent a potentially regrettable decision. Advancing in a professional setting, particularly within a large corporation, necessitates an ongoing demonstration of your value. The desire to ascend the corporate ladder, especially in the legal community, often means aspiring for partnership status within a law firm. Achieving this status is no small feat. Partners must display a knack for generating cases and essentially driving revenue by attracting and retaining clients for the firm. However, the challenge lies in the rather limited avenues available for individuals aiming for such career heights. Often, the pathways to showcasing one's worth are confined to community service involvement or participation in speaking engagements. This limitation becomes even more pronounced for young associates who, in addition to their primary responsibilities, are striving to establish themselves as reputable figures in the legal field. With numerous individuals pursuing similar goals, standing out becomes a formidable task. This was the scenario until the emergence of legal blogs in the early 2000s, marking a significant shift in the legal landscape. Recalling the trend in the early 2000s, particularly in the surge of popularity in legal blogs, these platforms, written by attorneys, served as an invaluable source of guidance and information on various legal topics. Their uniqueness lay in their specialized content, appealing to a wide audience seeking insight from legal experts in specific areas of law. One aspect often overlooked is the challenge of engaging with attorneys for general legal inquiries without formally hiring their services or encountering them in community-based events or speaking sessions. Legal blogs revolutionized this interaction by not only offering comprehensive legal information, but also creating avenues for engagement through comment sections, direct emails, or questionnaires. Attorneys, for the first time, could establish themselves as experts in their field while initiating potential client interactions. The impact of these legal blogs extended beyond individual attorneys. They provided a means for law firms to attain broader exposure and recognition. For young associates aspiring to carve a niche for themselves, this online platform offered unparalleled access to a wide audience. The space presented an opportunity to shape their image, provide content that showcased their expertise, and ultimately prove their value to potential clients and the legal community at large. The allure of this platform was undeniable, prompting me with the idea of creating a legal blog in 2006. However, a significant roadblock existed: the technical know-how required to set up a blog. Seeking a solution, I turned to a close friend and fraternity brother, Ian, who had expertise in web development. I shared my aspirations, and Ian crafted a web page with an embedded blog. Moreover, he implemented strategies behind the scenes to enhance the blog's visibility on the internet. This newfound avenue allowed me to publish regular content pertaining to my practice area, significantly amplifying my relevance and presence in the legal domain. The initial phase of the blog focused on consistently generating quality content, posting 2 to 3 times a week. Through the tracking tools and strategies Ian had set up, I monitored the blog's performance. To my surprise and delight, the blog quickly garnered substantial viewership. It seemed to mark the beginning of what I considered a significant demonstration of value. The period between early 2006 and early 2007 was crucial. During this time, I managed the blog independently, meticulously crafting content that I believed showcased a specific and valuable expertise. The tools Ian provided suggested that the value I sought to create was gaining traction. In my view, this self-initiated tool, complementing my day job, became an additional advantage in my pursuit of becoming an appealing partner candidate within the firm. This newfound asset made the impending meeting with the senior partner of the firm even more thrilling, as I believed I had something substantial to share. The blog was not merely a digital space, it had become a testament to my dedication, knowledge, and value as a legal professional. I was thrilled with the success of the blog until a meeting with the senior partner took an unexpected turn. In March of 2007, the local partner in my law firm conveyed the news that the senior partner was making a special trip from out of state solely to discuss my future within the firm. This news excited me beyond measure. Throughout my tenure at the firm, I had consistently received positive reviews. Moreover, the senior partner's infrequent visits to our Florida office made this upcoming meeting all the more exceptional. It was evident that this time, the primary focus was specifically to engage in dialogue with me, even though I knew he had other matters to discuss with the local partner. Repeatedly, I had been assured that my trajectory was aligned towards partnership. I was thrilled about the direction we were headed, and I was eager to use this opportunity to discuss my blog and its potential role within the company. When the senior management arrived, I was both excited and anxious to delve into the conversation. The meeting took place in a formal restaurant set against the scenic backdrop of the Gulf. It was an intimate gathering involving just me, the senior manager, and the local partner. After 5 years of dedicated service to the firm, I was confident that this meeting would yield a positive outcome or at least guide me in a favorable direction. What truly fueled my excitement was the chance to introduce this new tool, my blog, something I believe would be an invaluable asset to the firm. To my surprise, senior management wanted to discuss the blog as well, but not in the manner that I had anticipated. During our conversation about my future prospects, senior management expressed concerns about a specific entry in my blog. In a previous post, I had highlighted my status as the only person of color among all the attorneys at my firm. However, I had also emphasized the firm's consistent and unconditional support for my endeavors related to minority groups and Black History Month programs. The intent behind this post was to showcase the firm's unwavering support for initiatives concerning persons of color and other minority groups. Regrettably, the focus seemed to shift away from the positive aspect. The concern primarily revolved around the fact that I had highlighted being the only person of color at the firm. Unfortunately, this aspect of the post was interpreted as a critique against the firm for having me as being the only person of color. There was a miscommunication or misinterpretation of my intention. I had not effectively communicated that the primary focus was on the firm's extraordinary support. In my view, being the only person of color was not necessarily negative, as the firm had been exceptionally supportive. However, this nuance was lost in communication. During the meeting, a suggestion was made to integrate the blog into the firm's website for content oversight. Initially, I was not entirely on board with this suggestion. I was still taken aback about how a post I believed to be favorable was perceived as unfavorable. Amidst this discussion, I failed to engage objectively. My immediate thought was that perhaps I had not effectively conveyed or structured the content to demonstrate its value, and hence, incorporating it into the firm might not necessarily be a bad thing. However, I was also baffled by the fact that concerns had been raised without any prior communication or opportunity for me to address or rectify the content. Despite my local partner's awareness that there were concerns, it troubled me that no one engaged me to resolve the issues. After the meeting, I turned to Ian to discuss the conversation, and the suggestion to integrate the blog into the firm's website. He firmly believed that the blog was created for my benefit and was an independent entity showcasing my value. He feared that integrating it into the firm's website would compromise its integrity. Since Ian had full control over the site, he made the independent decision to deactivate the blog, leaving a banner indicating that something new was coming. The action took me by complete surprise. I struggled to comprehend why Ian was so fervently opposed to integrating the blog into the firm's website. I hesitated to ask Ian for fear of receiving an answer that I might not like. Consequently, I turned to my friend and other fraternity brother, Tom, who was also an attorney with his own CPA accounting firm. Tom was someone I trusted for advice on professional matters, and I shared the entire situation with him. Tom supported Ian's decision as he saw the blog not just as a content creation, but as a valuable piece of property. In Tom's view, Ian was safeguarding this valuable asset from being given away without any compensation to me. Regarding the integration of the blog into the firm's website, Tom did not give a direct answer, but instead posed questions. He raised concerns about compensation, the blog's value and partnership consideration, and contributions if the firm required ongoing maintenance of the blog. These questions shed light on aspects that were not addressed in the earlier conversation, indicating that I was on the verge of giving away valuable content without due consideration of my own benefits. In Tom's view, the firm was attempting to acquire something valuable from me without offering any clear compensation or benefits. Ownership, visibility, and content oversight had not been discussed. Tom believed that Ian's actions were a protective measure to prevent me from giving away valuable content without any gain for myself. These insights provided me with a different perspective. It was evident that my content had value beyond mere blogging and represented a piece of property that needed to be safeguarded. Moreover, the lack of discussion regarding the benefits or compensation for the blog's incorporation into the firm's website was a concern that I had not fully considered before seeking advice. This revelation left me contemplating the true worth of what I had created and the importance of protecting it from being integrated into the firm's property without due consideration for my own benefits and rights. It was a crucial turning point in my understanding of the situation and the significance of the content I had created over the past year. It was a tough decision. I had to weigh different perspectives and the value of the content created. Ultimately, I decided to keep the website down. After considering both the perspective of the firm and the viewpoints of my fraternity brothers, I had to grapple with some tough realizations. The truth was that I had independently created this tool without informing anyone in my firm's leadership hierarchy about my intentions. I intentionally refrained from sharing because I wanted to build value in it first, thinking that leveraging this value would work in my favor. Seeking no guidance, feedback, or input from anyone within the firm, I ventured into this project independently. Upon reflection, I comprehended the firm's position. I had created this value-added product without their oversight, allowing me to generate content while employed at their firm. While my intent was to add value, I had failed to communicate this to them. As long as I was an employee, the firm felt the need to ensure that my content did not reflect negatively on them. However, I also empathized with Tom and Ian's perspective. They saw this from a different and more objective standpoint than I did. In their view, I had not just posted random content. I had invested considerable time and effort in creating a brand that could outlast my tenure at the firm. I meticulously crafted content, engaged with my audience, and, with Ian's assistance, created a distinctive space that set me apart. Inadvertently, I had built the Anthony Reeves experience without fully recognizing that I had built the Anthony Reeves experience. I intended to create an engaging platform which proved successful. I had unwittingly crafted a reputation and brand that not only encouraged engagement with me and my firm, but also with my other platforms. I had inadvertently created something of immense value. Once you create something valuable, giving it away would be significantly detrimental, and I did not initially fully appreciate the significance of what I had created. After weighing everything, I realized that Ian and Tom's advice and Ian's actions were in my best interest. I had invested a significant amount of time and effort into creating content and promoting it, and I did not feel obliged to discuss this to anyone else. Moreover, since it was a request and not a directive, I was uncertain about how rejecting their offer while continuing to produce content on the blog would be perceived. Considering the guidance from Ian and Tom, I made the decision to keep the website offline. During this period, Ian and I regularly discussed the future of the site. It was during these conversations that I had mentioned my contemplation of establishing my own law firm. Ian was enthusiastic about the idea and insisted that I keep him in the loop so that he could maintain the website and prepare designs for the potential launch of my own firm. After approximately 6 months after that fateful meeting and the website being inactive, I informed Ian about my decision to launch my own firm. Finally, I was able to resume content creation on my blog. Consequently, on October 1st, 2007, my website and my blog were reactivated, allowing me to continue creating content for the future. This experience taught me a crucial lesson about the significance of having friends who offer alternative perspectives. The entire experience with my blog taught me a harsh reality. I failed to recognize the true value I created. My focus was fixated on creating something to advance my prospects, aiming for a partnership. It had never occurred to me that what I had developed was more significant. I had inadvertently created a brand that needed safeguarding, nurturing, and leveraging for my benefit, not anyone else's. I was so willing to give it away because, from my limited perspective, if it did not lead to a partnership, it seemed to hold no value. However, the silver lining was having individuals like Ian and Tom who stopped me in my tracks and made me realize the true worth of what I had created. They weren't just looking at the mechanics of my work. Even when Ian shut down the website, it wasn't about destroying something valuable. It was about protecting a product, a brand that I had painstakingly built over the year. Their intervention helped me understand that this was a valuable asset, a business entity that I must manage and leverage. They made me ask critical questions that I had not considered before, altering my perspective drastically. What Ian and Tom saw, and I did not, was the brand I was creating and its long-term potential for my benefit. Their actions and insights ensured that I did not make a potentially devastating decision on giving away the goodwill I had generated without compensation, only for someone else's benefit. Their foresight made me realize that everything they did was for my sole benefit. Without their guidance, I might have handed the blog over to the firm, oblivious to its true worth, and potentially leaving it behind if I were to leave the firm, a move that would have been even more damaging. This experience taught me the vital lesson of having well-meaning friends who can foresee the bigger picture and save you from decisions that might hurt you in the long run. It's imperative to surround yourself with individuals who see things differently, challenge your perspectives, and avert potential future regrets. When friends step in to guide you, it's often in your best interest, preventing potential heartache and suffering down the road. They bring a fresh and crucial perspective, safeguarding you from the decisions that may cause harm in the future. That wraps up another edition of In the Know. I hope this story resonated with you. Remember, sometimes friends step in to save us from potential future regrets. If you enjoyed today's content, you can access this and more across various podcast platforms. For a wealth of advice, including blogs, YouTube videos, and quick reels, visit my website at anthonyreeves.com. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on all our latest content. Also, if you would like to show support through a donation, the option is available on anthonyreeves.com. As always, I'm Reeves, and the one question I have for you is this: are you ready for the Anthony Reeves experience?